All right, guys, so today we are looking at questions 5 through 8 on our Analyze assignment for Module 6. So for this one, we are looking at identifying the pitch names for specifically measures 1 through 6, then 7 through 10, 11 through 14, and then 15 through 18. Okay, so this is the same as we were doing with Module 5, Assignment 1, where we are identifying the pitch names. All right, so I'm going to use that same document that we had open before on analyzing the rhythms and getting the rhythms counted out. But this time, we are needing to figure out the pitch names. Okay, and to do that, we need to know over here on the right-hand side, we have Module 5 Vocabulary and Study Guide. Okay, so this is at the website. On the website, it's under Module 5 Vocab and Study Guide. Okay, and that is going to tell us all that we need to know on identifying our pitch names. All right, so let's take a look at this very first, our first two measures actually will be silent, so we need to notate that in this measure. Okay, all right, so I've wrote down two measures of silence. Okay, and then after we have those two measures of silence, we want to know what is that letter name. This letter name helps us identify the specific note that any instrument can play or anybody can sing that specific note. Okay, so we want to identify, taking a look more at each individual specific note. So let's take a look at this note right there. That is middle C. All right, so we are looking at specifically each individual note. So we're going to start with this note right here. That one is on the ledger line below the staff. And I take a look over here at the Module 5 Study Guide, and I find a note that is on the ledger line below the staff. Okay, this one is our middle C. And when we write it down for the sake of our notes, we just write down C. Okay, this next one, that one is the space below the staff. The first space below the staff. And I take a look over here on the right on the study guide, and there that note is. Okay, so that one is a D. Okay, and then our third note of this measure, that one is on the first line of the staff, the bottom line of the staff. Right, and that one is E. Once I am done with that measure, I draw my bar line and move on to the next measure. This next measure we have D, E, and then we have that bottom space. We are needing to figure out where is that bottom space. Okay, so that's space 1 on the staff. That one is an F. All right, great. Now this next measure, I'm going to use a different method. So I'm right here on these measures, measure 4. Okay, measure 4 and 5, I'm going to use the same method of figuring out these note names. And I'm going to use my memorized lines and spaces. So don't forget the lines are Elvis's guitar broke down Friday, and then the spaces are, they spell out the word face, F-A-C-E. Okay, so this measure right here, we have the bottom line of the staff, line 1. Line 1 is Elvis. Line 2, space 2 is the first letter of face. Second line is Elvis's guitar, G. Okay, and this is going along with my memorized lines and spaces of the treble clef on the staff. All right, let's take a look at our final measure for measures 1 through 6. This is bottom line, Elvis. Now we're looking at the second note of that measure. That is on the bottom space, space 1, first letter of face. Now we're looking at the second line. That one is second line G, for Elvis's guitar. Okay. Now we're moving on to measures 7 through 10. And we have first letter of F of face, Elvis's guitar, and second letter of face. If you notice, now I am just pointing at where my note is and typing it up here as we go along. Now this one right here, we have already figured it out. That one is second line, Elvis's guitar. Then we have E for Elvis. Then we also have another E after that one. New measure. Now we have second letter of face is A. Elvis's guitar broke. Third letter of face, new measure. Elvis's guitar broke. Third letter of face, Elvis's guitar broke down. And this one is a new note. That one is on the fourth space. So it is F-A-C-E. And we are now at a measure 11. So that first one is an E. Then I have the third space, F-A-C. F-A-C. Now we have F-A-C-E again. All right, now for the rest of these, I'm going to let you do the rest of number 7, measures 12 through 14 on your own. Let's take a look at our one note that we haven't identified yet on measure 15. That one is going to be Elvis's guitar broke down Friday. So that note right there, that one is an F. Okay, that top line is an F. Okay, all these other lines and spaces we have already identified previously from up here. Make sure you're going back and forth on your study guide and your sheet music, and then putting the answers onto your answer document here. Okay. So you're going to need to have 3 things open: one for reference, one to look at and identify, and one more to put the answers into for this particular part of the assignment. So, thank you all for being here with me for our lecture 2 for piano and guitar. And remember, be better than you were yesterday.